I was willing, but I was not obedient. Give God 3 days and watch him change your life. Who, me? You talking to me? Okay. Give God 3 days and watch him change your life. What it do, me and more gang, it's your girl Bianca Shanice, and I'm back with a new video. If you're new here, hello, and if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. Also, please don't forget to hit like, comment, and subscribe, and please don't forget to hit that notification button so you get alerts when your girl posts a new video. Cause what? Cause how y'all gonna see? So for today's video, I will be sharing my journey on the 3-day Esther fast, what I learned, and more. If this is something that you're interested in, please stay tuned and keep on watching. Welcome or welcome back, me and more gang. I'm sharing my 3-day Esther fast journey with you all, with the intent to let God use me as a vessel to advance his kingdom purpose. I will definitely be transparent throughout this video, so you all can be aware that everybody's fasting journey will not look the same. Disclaimer, this will be a series because I will not be able to fit all that I have learned, went through in this entire video. So this is Esther, as y'all can see. I strongly encourage you all to go back and watch part 1 of my 3-day Esther fast so you can get a better understanding of what fasting is before you watch this video here. I love to, decorate my Bible, honey. I do write in my Bible, baby, and I highlight down. I'm gonna have a better overview of my Bible. I'm gonna put it on the screen. But let me go ahead and jump into the key things on the first page. I'm not gonna be able to go through all these chapters in this video. We're just gonna go over chapter 1. Tap in with me because it's good, okay? So they have a key verse in my Bible. It says, if you keep silent at this time, relief and deliverance will come to the Jewish people from another place. But you and your father's family will be destroyed. Who knows? Perhaps you have come to your royal position for such a time as this. Esther 4:14. Timeline of Esther is basically the story of Esther is rooted in the historical account of King Xerxes, who ruled as king of Persia 486 through 465 BC. Esther made queen of Persia in approximately 479 BC. Haman's plot to destroy the Jews occurred in 474 BC. And the first celebration of the Purim occurs in 473 BC. So a little background about Esther. The book of Esther never mentions God by name, although his presence is implied in Mordecai's allusion to divine providence. So when y'all going back to, it was saying that the book of Esther never mentions God's name, I was like, what? Said it come again. I don't know if this is the first book or the only book who never mentions God's name, but this is what I have, learned from Esther, that Esther so far that I have, in my reading and my studying, that Esther is one of the books who doesn't mention God. A book that don't mention God, I'm like, okay. But y'all, when I tell you, as I was reading, you can't tell me God was not in the midst of this story. I cannot wait to dive into the book of Esther with you all. Also to add that message and purpose of this book, for the Jewish people scattered around the Persian Empire, the book of Esther was a story that gave encouragement and hope. It provided a model of how Jewish people could not just survive but thrive in a Gentile environment. It displayed the work of God, evident but unseen, in the unfolding story of deliverance and redemption, making an orphan girl the queen and using her courage and influence to save the Jews from annihilation. I'm gonna read the first part. This is the first chapter. It's really not long, y'all. These chapters wasn't long at all, so stick with me. The title of this is Vashti Angers the King. These events took place during the days of Xerxes. If I'm butchering their names, don't hold it against me. Who ruled 127 provinces from India to Kush. In those days, King Xerxes reigned from his royal throne in the fortress of Susa. He held a feast in the 3rd year of his reign for all his officials and staff, the army of Persia and Media, the nobles and the officials from the provinces. He displayed the glorious wealth of his kingdom and the magnificent splendor of his greatness for a total of 180 days. At the end of this time, the king held a week-long banquet in the garden courtyard of the royal palace for all the people. from the greatest to the least, who were present in the fortress of Susa. White and blue linen hangings were fastened with fine white and purple linen cords to silver rods on marble columns. Gold and silver couches were arranged on a mosaic pavement of red, feldspar, marble, mother of pearl, and precious stones. Drinks were served in an array of gold goblets, each with a different design. Royal wine flowed freely, according to the king's bounty. The drinking was according to royal decree. There are no restrictions. The king had ordered every wine steward in this household to serve whatever each person wanted. Queen Vashti also gave a feast for the women of King Xerxes' palace. On the seventh day, when the king was feeling good from wine, Xerxes commanded, now these names, Mehuman, Biztha, Harbana, Bigtha, Abagatha, Abatha, Zahar, and Carcass, the 7 eunuchs who personally served him, to bring Queen Vashti before him with her royal crown. He wanted to show off her beauty to the people and the officials because she was very beautiful. Queen Vashti refused to come at the king's command that was delivered by his eunuchs. He became furious and his anger burned within him. That is the first portion, right? So y'all, I did highlight what stood out to me. I did realize that the reason for these feasts was because of the king's pride. The king wanted to impress the people with a great display of his wealth, power, and generosity. The visual of King Xerxes' party. It's like one of the biggest parties up there, top tier. Nice luxury things at the party. You know, he mentioned some of the gold, the marble columns, the mosaic pieces. Like, it's top tier. It's 10 out of 10. Recommend type of party, right? At his feast was government officials, where he showed all the glorious riches of his kingdom. That was for his first feast. His second feast was for citizens of the capital, and that lasted for 7 days. Like I said, his feast was luxury and for the finer things. They were also drinking at that party. So just think about it. You know, it's a nice party. All the people there. They got good food, probably crab legs, shrimp, lobster, steak, all that type of stuff. They probably got the best wine of the wine, or whatever type of drinks they had going on back then of that time. Like, just think about, like, it's just a nice, fancy party. Everybody there. So, you know, he wanted to show off his things, and he wanted to give his guests a good time, right? So far, the characters are King Xerxes and Queen Vashti. Queen Vashti is the king's wife. The king wanted to show his wife off. She refused, and the king got furious and he was angry. Queen Vashti refused the king's offer. He was drunk. Imagine his friends are drunk. People are drunk. Like, she like, bro, I'm not going out there in front of all those people with them being drunk or whatever. Also was known that Queen Vashti wasn't a follower of God, but she had enough wisdom and modesty to know that this was something she shouldn't do, which is attend the party. And what that has let me learn from and take away from Queen Vashti is that she stood her ground. We sometimes ourselves put ourselves in dangerous situations where alcohol is present and showing a lack of wisdom at times. How many times have we compromised ourselves for the world or for worldly people, or just compromise ourselves in general? How many times have we done it? I myself have done it. I'm pretty sure you guys have done it plenty of times. It also lets me know never settle. Wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. We're gonna keep it there. Queen Vashti, she stood her ground. So getting to the king's decree. This is the second part. So it says, the king consulted the wise men who understood the times, for it was his normal procedure to confer with experts in the law of justice. The most trusted ones. Y'all, it's some more names. They were the 7 officials of Persia and the media who had personal access to the king and occupied the highest positions in the kingdom. The king asked, according to the law, what should be done with Queen Vashti since she refused to obey King Xerxes' command that was delivered by the eunuchs. This person named Memucan said, in the presence of the king and his official, Queen Vashti has wronged not only the king but all the officials and the people who are in every one of King Xerxes' provinces. For the queen's action will become public knowledge to all the women and cause them to despise their husband and say, King Xerxes ordered Queen Vashti brought before him, but she did not come. Before this day is over, the noble women of Persia and Media who hear about the queen's act will say the same thing to all king's officials, resulting in more contempt and fury. If it meets the king's approval, he shall personally issue a royal decree. Let it be recorded in the laws of the Persians and the Medes, so that it cannot be revoked. Vashti is not to enter King Xerxes' presence, and her royal position is to be given to another woman who is more worthy than she. The decree the king issues will be heard throughout his vast kingdom. So all women will honor their husbands from the greatest to the least. The king and his counselors approved the proposal, and he followed Memucan's advice. He sent letters to all the royal provinces, to each province in its own script, and to each ethnic group in its own language, that every man should be master of his own house and speak in the language of his own people. So, baby, King Xerxes said Queen Vashti got to go. He gonna make an example out of her. Y'all, he came up with his own decree. Well, he asked, let's just say his friends, the other people that was around him. He asked all of them what should be done, what should he do, about Queen Vashti not coming to the party. Child, I wrote down, and I got from the commentary, it was saying the king issued out a decree so that all women will honor their husbands. The king felt played, embarrassed in front of his friends. The king was wrong, unreasonable, and he should have honored his wife's decision. And like I was going back into the thing about Queen Vashti not compromising, herself or her beliefs of not going before the king while he was drunk and his drunk friends. He wanted to show her off, and she felt like she didn't want to be used in such of a way at that time. It never stated of why Queen Vashti didn't want to appear in front of the king and his friends. And I kind of like Queen Vashti's take from it. Although I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, she has paved the way for Queen Esther to step in, but I don't feel like she was wrong because it never stated why she, didn't want to appear in front of the king. But I just felt like she didn't want to be used as no toy or just paraded around because she was beautiful. I also want to add once again, how many times have we compromised ourselves for somebody else's pleasure or our integrity? I feel like Queen Vashti was living the life that most women wanted. It was giving luxury at its finest. And I just feel like her no was very valid. All that went out the door when her character, her morals, and all that other stuff was at a cost. Also, obey God before man. God will always show up and give you the strength to stand up for yourself so you can be the voice for women today. But I feel like it's also like another take from it too. It's like, well, dang, why she didn't want to submit to her husband. I also took from it, you can be replaced, like I was saying. The king was ready to get the Queen Vashti up out the way so another lady could step in and take her place. You can be replaced. Never settle. You are worth more than your looks. And that's going back to, he was saying how Queen Vashti was beautiful and he wanted to show her off. But in her mind, she probably was like, no, it's not just about my appearance, in this moment. For her, it wasn't. That's what I took so far from chapter 1. It was a lot to unpack. And there's probably a whole lot more that I could have unpacked or said, but I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to, keep rambling so much. I feel like I would love to know, like, how Queen Vashti's life turned out. And it may be in some other books of the Bible. If you are aware, please let me know so I can, look into it. But I kind of felt bad for Queen Vashti, but she was paving the way for old Queen Esther to come in. Okay? So I can't wait to share what's to come. Everything worked. Everything was orchestrated for a time such as this for Esther. Okay. Even though God was not mentioned in chapter 1, or like I said throughout the entire Bible, God was already getting Queen Vashti up out of the way so Esther can come in, make a way of what God had in store and what God had plans to, or how God had plans to use Esther and some more people through this book. And like, I love how they narrated the story. It was so good, y'all. It was so good. I hope everything that I said, it made sense. I'm really not a good storyteller. It's kind of hard, you know, but I hope I was able to get it through where it made sense to y'all. I do want to let y'all know how my day 1 went. So I actually had got up probably about 7:30. I kind of wanted to have myself up and ready by 8 o'clock so I can study, pray, worship from 8 to 10. And I was able to achieve that. When I got up, of course, I had drunk me some water. I want to say after I got finished studying and stuff, I was able to take me a nap from probably about like 11 to probably about 1 something. Then I got up, I studied again, and I got myself prepared for work. So from like 8 to until I went to work, I just had water and I ate on a few nuts. Got to work, y'all. I was fine. I did get tested, you know, while I was at work. And that's where my big issue came in, y'all. It was when I got tested when I was more so outside of the confines of my home. And it wasn't like a bad test, you know, throughout this journey. It was more so like I was at work and my manager was like, "Have you ate?" And I was like, "Mm-mm." And she was like, "What you got taste for?" And I was like, "Well, I can just eat me a salad or something." And me and her have this type of relationship where we are okay with sharing when we fasting with each other, but I didn't have the intentions on going into work that day telling her that I was fasting, because I do want to be mindful of not telling people when I fast. And that's another thing that I have learned, you know, during my fasting journey, is don't tell people when you fast. You know, that's not nobody's business, because I didn't want it to come off to God as that I'm trying to be boastful, or I want people to feel sorry for me because, you know, I'm fasting, or, you know, I don't want to draw no attention. I want everything to be focused on God and not me during this time. But it happened in that way where, you know, I was like, I could just eat salad. She was like, "Salads?" She said, "You fasting?" And so I'm just like, "Yeah, I am." And she was like, okay. So she ended up getting me a veggie bowl from Jersey Mike's that night, which was just lettuce, onions, jalapeno peppers, cheese, and salt and pepper. That's all I had in the salad. And I did go to Dollar Tree and get me some croutons, and I put that in there. And I didn't eat. That was my first time eating, was when I got off work, like about, because she had mentioned about food probably about 7:30. I got off at 9. By the time I got home, got myself situated, that's when I ate that veggie bowl. And that's all I had for the first day, y'all. The first day was not bad at all. I don't think I felt the feeling of getting hungry at all on the first day. I did kind of feel a little nauseous, getting sick. So I know at work I did eat on some more peanuts, and I did drink my liquid IV. But my first day, y'all, it was good. It was successful. I do want to say where I felt like I wish I would have journaled my prayers, because that's what I had the intent of with this fast. It's like journaling, you know, but I still continue to talk to God, you know, throughout the day, you know, having a conversation with him. But I wish I would have journaled. And I'm going to explain why I say that, you know, I guess at the end of this series. So keep a pen there. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions on anything that I have said or done in this video, if you guys have already did the 3-day Esther fast before, or if you have read the book of Esther, please jot down some of your takeaways in the comments. But But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, if you have any questions, please feel free to comment down below. Also, please don't forget to hit like, comment, and subscribe. And I will be looking forward to seeing you guys in the next video. And I will see you guys later. Goodbye.